want to be the first Triple Crown winner, winning the trifecta.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So guys, channel membership is now live. Link is in the description and the first comment. Do check it out. That would really help support the channel. So let's start this video with the reigning Arnold champion and the former Miss Olympia Regan Sitting. No slowing down, no backing off the training intensity, even when we are less than 1 week out of this year's mighty Pittsburgh Pro. And this was Derek's last leg workout. And the man was going balls to the walls. So Derek went from a guy who did just one show every year to a guy who at the moment is going through the longest prep of his entire career. I mean, the man is going through the longest prep, even among all those guys who placed top 5 at the Olympia last year. So the man has been on the prep for almost 6 months now, and we would totally understand if he chooses not to do this upcoming New York Pro, which is just a week after this year's Pittsburgh Pro. Because the fact is, he will have to give his body that much needed rest, that break, before he goes through another mini off season and starts getting ready for the Olympia this year. So his goals for this year are very clear, and for the very first time during this prep, you guys are gonna see him very fired up about this entire bodybuilding season. He won the Arnold despite being counted out by every single bodybuilding expert out there. So now he wants to win the first ever Pittsburgh Pro. And lastly, this is the first time he openly spoke about getting that Miss Olympia title back from Samson Dauda.
Like I said, this is a part of my 2025 season. I want to be the first Triple Crown winner, winning the trifecta of the Arnold, Pittsburgh, and getting my Mr. Olympia title back, which only one other person has ever done that in history of bodybuilding. That's Jay Cutler.
So Krizo and Derek are following that exact same formula that worked for them at this past Arnold, Ohio. We know his main concern was keeping all that volume on his legs and maintain all that size on his legs all the way till showtime. And Derek was able to do that very well, very successfully, as he trained very heavy all the way till the peak week. Now, not many people out there believe that he can peak 100% 2 times in a row in 2 back-to-back shows. And we kind of did see that happen with Hadi Chopin last year, where he just wasn't able to bring as good of a look to the Olympia last year as he did for the Arnold, Ohio. And we saw how that cost him the title. Now, it was a big risk that Derek took by jumping into this year's Pittsburgh Pro. But I'm gonna say for that $100,000, it was worth taking. Now, contrary to the opinion of many experts out there, that Derek will be off. What if he comes in better than even this past Arnold, Ohio? I'm gonna say if that happens, everyone at the Olympia, they're gonna be in trouble. But do let me know what is your opinion. So GoodVito posted another physique update to respond to all the people who are saying that he's gonna get smoked in those back shots against all these guys at this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro. Well, the fact is, it's only one shot, the back double biceps, where he is really vulnerable in. Even last year, his back lat spread, that looked way better than what people expected from him. And this is him, after putting 1 year of solid work under his belt. Now only Nick Walker and GoodVito have been posting all these physique updates, and that too this close to the show. And that is why in just a few minutes, we have all these comparisons floating around all over Instagram. And here is GoodVito versus Nick Walker. Now before I give the conclusion on who takes this one, this particular shot 1 week out, can we just take a moment and appreciate how small Nick Swiss is looking right now? That is beyond impressive. Now as far as this comparison is concerned, if there is no editing done on Vito's picture to make him look extra hot, I'm gonna say he's looking more impressive than the mutant. GoodVito's hamstrings are simply one of the best in the world right now. And it seems like that the back lat spread, that is gonna be a very combative shot by GoodVito, even against guys like Derek and Nick and also Martin. So this picture of Vito, that was taken 10 days out of this year's Pittsburgh Pro. So he must be improving his look by the day. So the scary thing is that GoodVito has built this world-class physique at the age of just 27, and the man is just getting started. So the sky is the limit for this guy. So no one is gonna touch Martin-Fitzwater or Michael Krizo in that crab most muscular shot. So here we are watching one of the most freakiest looking bodybuilder Of this zero at the very least, Michael Krizo is in the conditioning of his lifetime. Just a week out of his comeback show, the mighty Pittsburgh Pro. So the depletion days are just about to end, and it's time to bring that physique back to life. And once his coach gives him some carbs, he's gonna look full blown. So far, George Farah has done a very good job, as this is their first time going through a prep together, and this is their first show together. And this is, without any shadow of a doubt, the best crab most muscular pros in the entire men's open right now. So many people still believe that out of all the shows that Michael Krizo has done in the Pro League, there hasn't been even one show where Krizo was able to bring his all-time best, that look that he has, just a few days out in the gym. He still hasn't been able to bring that to the stage. And maybe this is the year when we are finally gonna see Krizo at his all-time best. His back, we know, still won't be good enough to come even close to those top 3 guys at this show. But I believe his back is gonna look a lot improved compared to what we saw at his last show, which was Emperor Classic Spain. So can Michael Krizo be considered the dark horse going into this show? Well, his chances of getting into that top 3, that is totally dependent on all these other guys. And if they come in off, then Krizo can move past them. Now he can maybe overpower Martin on the basis of his superior mass and his muscularity. Or we know a guy like Nick Walker, he's just as freaky as Krizo, if not more, and is capable of bringing that same elite kind of conditioning as well. But we do have to give Krizo huge props. Nobody imagined that he would be able to make such a fast recovery after that shoulder surgery. So a huge shout out to him. Well, this is Martin's reply to everyone out there who said that he won't be ready for this year's Pittsburgh Pro, based on all these YouTube videos that he has been putting out, and that too on a daily basis, and also the guest posing that he did. Well, he did say that people out there are gonna be so shocked to see how much his quads have improved since Prague Pro last year. And I have got to say the man wasn't messing around. He wasn't just making that up, because his quads look absolutely massive right now. And we have to keep in mind, he still have more than a week to go till it's showtime, and he might still be on the low carbs right now. And they are doing that to bring that extra detail, to bring a little bit more conditioning, as this was their plan if Derek decides to jump into this year's Pittsburgh Pro. So once Stefan gives him some carbs, his quads are gonna look even more impressive. So what is the most astonishing part of his quads getting a lot bigger for this year? It's the fact that he had some of the best legs on that Miss Olympia stage last year in the first call out, and people have very quickly forgotten how crazy shredded he can be. Now he's up against some very fierce competition here, and all the predictions, they are currently being made against him. None of them are in his favor, because nobody out there have him beating a guy like Nick Walker, let alone Derek Lunsford. But Martin is out there in Pittsburgh, so he's gonna have Jim and Talmanian look at him and give him that valuable feedback just 1 week out. So Tyler Mannion rates Martin very high, and the reason is Martin's muscle quality and his insane conditioning that he brings every single time. So he was the first one to predict that Martin is gonna be in the first Olympia call out last year based on his New York Pro look. And that was such a smaller version of Martin. So let's just hope that he ditches the scale and just try to show up at his all-time best instead of trying to be 10 pounds heavier than last year. So from this particular clip from last year's New York Pro, I have got to say Nick's waistline, that cannot be off, or Martin and Derek, they are gonna expose the hell out of him.
So once I'm ready to go, that's when we'll hit the stage next.
Next up, we have an update from Regan Grimes. So one thing that is very clear from all the YouTube videos that he's putting out, that the face is looking very different in the recent one. That I have got to say is the diet face, which we have never seen on Regan before. And that can only mean one thing. They're pushing extremely hard to get him in the best condition of his life. And for the tricky part, from his statement, you are kind of gonna get the feeling that he might not do this upcoming New York Pro because he just doesn't feel ready a couple of weeks out of this show.
You know, New York would be great, but like I said, if we're not 100%, we're not going to go. Like, the next one would be California.
So we are now less than 2 weeks out of this year's New York Pro. So if Regan and Stefan aren't confident about him being in shape this close to the show, they probably won't be able to make it. Because for Regan to go on 0 carbs and speed up the process, that would be totally devastating to all the progress that he has made over the past 1 year. As we know, he took the whole year off just to get bigger, to put on more muscle. Now there is another different theory out there on why Regan is reluctant on doing this upcoming New York Pro. Because majority of these guys who are doing this Pittsburgh Pro, they are gonna do the New York Pro as well. So can Regan beat a guy like William Bonac, Nick Walker, or Michael Krizo? Well, the fact is he has never even came close to beating any of these guys in his career before. So there is also that pressure of showing up considerably improved compared to what he looked like at the Olympia back in 2023. But that being said, if Regan is legit not ready, that is a good reason to skip the New York Pro. But if he is just afraid to go up against someone like those Olympia top 6 guys, then that is totally unreasonable, since he himself said just a few days ago that cracking top 6, that is his goal this year. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.